Yo guys, it's Safe here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Welcome back to the channel. Today, yes, we are back with another match preview for Premier League game week 7 between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. It's going to be a tough one. This is going to be a tough one for tomorrow's game. But today, all that matters is it's a match preview. You guys love the match previews all the time. In fact, I think it's my most supported type of video I get on this channel. So my match previews I appreciate all the support in general, all across all types of videos. So I appreciate you all. But without further ado, let's get into the match preview. Before we do get into the match preview, please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so notified every time I upload a video. Also, first link in the description of my streaming channel and my second channel. My second channel should be coming either tonight or tomorrow. I'm sorry for the delay. I've been very, very busy. But yeah, it should be coming out at some point soon. But be ready for that. And without further ado, let's get straight into the match preview between Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. A tough one. This is a tough game. And look, on paper, it may not seem like a tough game. Chelsea, Nottingham Forest, you might think, you know, one of the biggest clubs in the world, Chelsea Football Club, versus Nottingham Forest, who actually, especially in the past, you know, they won more Champions Leagues than Arsenal and Tottenham combined. You're not trying to say more European trophies and stuff. They are a big club, but like if you look at them nowadays, they're not big. You know what I mean? They're not the club that they used to be. And like I said, on paper, we should breeze past Nottingham Forest. But I don't think that's going to be the case. And as I go through the video, I'm going to tell you that. And look, as a Chelsea fan, I should be saying, you know, we're going to blitz through them. We're going to go storming through them. It's going to be an easy game, you know, especially with the form we've been on. You know what I mean? The momentum we're bringing through into this game. But I don't think so. I don't think we can go into any game like that until maybe, like I said, in a couple fixtures time. Maybe if we win our next 3 fixtures, especially when 2 of them, our next 2 include top 6 teams, then I think we can go into fixtures with more swagger. But still, at this rate, I still don't know what Chelsea are going to turn up. And that's not me being negative on my football club. It's not. But I just want to quickly get that out of the way because when I say this type of stuff, people seem to come for me on Twitter and stuff out thinking I'm being negative. I'm not. We still don't know what Chelsea will turn up. Look, in current form, we've been brilliant. The football we're playing, we're controlling games, we're beating teams convincingly and stuff like that. Teams that we wouldn't beat last season and stuff. I get that. But there's still a hint in me. Still, I think it's only for the fact that we've only played 6 games and we've only seen us obviously 6 times this season. I feel like the more we see of it, the more, you know, convinced I'm going to be of us. But I still think inside of our team, there's still that, you know, unpredictability about us. Tomorrow we could turn up and we could just absolutely trash out the whole party and ruin everything we've done for the last couple fixtures. You know what I'm trying to say? I still think there's a hint of that in us. But like I said, that's not me being negative on the team. I think this team is supremely better than the last couple of managers that we've had. The football that we play, way more entertaining. I love the fact that we counter-attack teams with efficiency. I love it. It's a different type of football. It's quick football. It's way more entertaining, especially compared to our last manager who never had a system or anything. Only on one hand can I count the times that we had a system. It's brilliant, but I still don't think we can go into games and say, yeah, we're going to win this game 3-0 or 4-0, or we should be winning this game convincingly, because especially Nottingham Forest, it's going to be a tough fixture tomorrow. They've got tough players. They've got good players. They've got Prem experienced players. One player I'm going to name that maybe some of us, you know, are probably going to, probably some of you are going to disagree with me for this. But one of our players that used to play for us formerly, Hudson-Odoi. And look, I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans say they don't like Hudson-Odoi anymore because apparently he celebrated past us. I don't think he celebrated. I just think he was happy that he scored. I don't think he celebrated. If he ever did the celebration, you know, tapping the badge, sticking his tongue out to the fans like Havertz did to us at the bridge, I could completely understand the hate then. But he didn't. He didn't. You know what I mean? He's probably happy he scored. He's one player, I think, for Forest who's going to do well tomorrow. I think he's going to have a blinder against us tomorrow. He's going to prove that we shouldn't have sold him tomorrow. I'm a big fan of Cho. I think he's brilliant. I think he's going to prove that tomorrow, unfortunately. But if it's not against us, if it's not against us, then I hope he does perform against other teams. But they've got good players. They've got that one striker. I forgot what his name is. The big tall one. He's brilliant, I think. He's very, very good. You know, very strong. If it's in the box, especially off a cross, I feel like our defenders are going to struggle from that. They got solid centre backs. Murillo is one of them, who we scouted last season. They got Anthony Elanga, who for some reason against every other team doesn't perform, but then against us decides to put the burners on. I don't know what it is, but it's going to be a tough game. Nottingham Forest, the seasons that they've been in the Premier League, the more that they've been in the Premier League, the more you've seen them progress as a team. Especially when they sacked that one guy who looked like he was drunk half of the time. I forgot what his name was. I think he's Leicester manager now. Ever since they sacked him, they've been doing way better. I think they're lying mid-table right now in the league as well. And they got I think they got a result against Liverpool, who are top of the league at the moment. Nottingham Forest is not going to be an easy game. And yes, we beat them. Last time we played them, we beat them convincingly, and that was away from home. We played at their ground. We beat them. Do you know what I mean? It was from a Jackson header on a Reece James cross. The last time Reece James played for us. But the last 2 times that we played against Forest at our ground, we've lost. And I remember the last time we played them at our ground, which was one of the first games of last season, actually. I think it was on the first 5 games of last season. If it was a game before the international break, if I'm not mistaken. It was a shocker. It was a shocker of a game. Absolute stink fest. Classic, poor Chelsea performance that you can remember. It was a classic one. We stunk up the gaff by having all the possession, doing nothing with it, and they just, I think it was 2-0, or it might have been 1-0. I think one of their goals was when it was our keeper went up for the corner, if I'm not mistaken, or if I'm thinking about a different game. But it was definitely a ball fest from what I remember. So they currently have the run on us in terms of, them coming to our ground and beating us. We need to switch that around, especially with the home form in the Premier League. Now, as of late, our home form is getting better. Our last home game we played, which was against Ghent in the Carabao Cup. No, not the Carabao Cup, sorry, the Conference League. We ended up winning that game. We've got that home form. We've got that bump of confidence a little bit more. Our away form, as of late, has been brilliant. It's been brilliant. But we need to start upping that home form. The home form matters more, in my opinion, because you want to be winning games at home. You want to make your home ground a fortress. You know what I'm trying to say? So tomorrow, in my opinion, against Forest, we've got to get that win to up the levels even more at home. Get the atmosphere up a bit more as well. Get it fiery, because especially at the start of the season when we played City and stuff like that, those first couple games we played at home, the atmosphere was awful. That's from what I've heard from, Chelsea YouTubers like George Benson and stuff like that. Apparently when he would stand up in the crowd to try and get behind the team, apparently people would shout at him to sit down and stuff like that. I think that's pathetic. I feel like you should get behind the team no matter what. You're there, you spent your money, you should back the boys on the pitch. Even if you were 2-0 down, you should back the boys. You know what I'm trying to say? But that's only going to come with wins. Do you know what I mean? In some instances, I can get behind the fans in booing and not, showing the reception that the players want if they're not showing the need for it. But at this moment in time, they are showing it. So let's get behind the boys. You know what I'm trying to say? If the form was atrocious and we lost 5 games on the bounce or 6 games on the bounce, lost, no draws, then I can understand the home crowd and stuff going at the players 100%. But if it's one rocky game or something like that, and maybe we didn't turn up, and I'm seeing boos like we did against Man City, first game of the season, you got to have a little bit of a leeway. Do you know what I mean? What are we doing? So we need to up this home form. We need to get behind the players, and the fans need to get behind the players, and the players need to help out the fans in the sense to, let's get the atmosphere up. Let's make the fans of the opposition scared to come to Stamford Bridge. Let's make the players of the opposite team even more scared to come to Stamford Bridge, like it was in the past when we did many, many runs on home form, going 86 games unbeaten. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Let's do that again. Let's hopefully do that again. Anyway, like I said, tomorrow's going to be a tough game either way. Forest, very, very good team. It's going to be what we all expect. We're going to have the most possession. I feel like that's a guarantee. I feel like Forest know that they're not going to go toe-to-toe with us, especially at home. With the form that we're on current form. So I feel like Forest are going to sit back majority of the time. They're going to sit back. We've got to have skillful players to beat the low block of Forest. And our defence has got to be superb tomorrow. It's got to be, because like I said, Forest have quality players. When they get that break on, especially when one of our flanks... this monitor, I need to sort it out. Especially when one of the flanks is going to be open because one of the inverted players will be inverting into midfield. Our defence has to be on tomorrow, and our whole team needs to be switched on, because these are the type of games when teams low block that we do the worst in. So we need to be on it tomorrow. And yeah. So the injury news is all the same. Reece James is the only injury right now. Lavia is getting back into fitness. I'm pretty sure he will get some minutes tomorrow, but he won't be starting. You're going to see that in the lineup I'm going to go with in a second. So yeah, injury news, brilliant. One thing I just want to quickly say before we get on to the team lineup. I didn't even know until after the game, about an hour or two after the Conference League game, that the Ghent fans were pulling off the seats at Stamford Bridge and chucking at our fans and pulling out the banners and stuff like that. What a disgrace, man. What a disgrace. Most of our fan base showed respect to you lot before the game, and then you go and do that. Nah, dickheads, man. Honestly, I have to address it. I have to say it, because I think it's disgraceful. And the fact that apparently I heard that the stewards and stuff like that, or, you know, the police and stuff like that, they were going against us. Ridiculous. Again, these are only things that I've heard from like YouTubers, people on Twitter and stuff like that. I think that's disgraceful. Absolute disgrace. I just wanted to quickly say that. I would like to know your opinions on it all down below. And yeah, disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. But let's move on to the team lineup I'm going to go with for tomorrow's game. So, the lineup I'll go with tomorrow is, you know, I feel like it's going to be quite similar. I feel like we're all going to come to an agreement on this. I don't think anybody's going to go to any disagreements. Maybe on one player, and I might get to him in a second. So, like I always do, I'm going to go through the team, and then I'm going to go through after the reasons why I've chosen these players. So it's going to be right on the screen. Robert Sanchez in goal, Marc Cucurella left back, Colwill Fofana as your two centre backs, Gusto right back, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo double pivot in the midfield, Jadon Sancho off the left, Cole Palmer in the 10, Madueke off the right, Jackson as the ST. So legit the exact same team that we used in our last Premier League game against Brighton, which we did brilliant in. I love the fact that we can look at an 11 right now. I love the fact we can look at a starting 11 right now that we've been running for the last few games, and we can look at it, and 95% of our fan base can all agree this is our best lineup. And the manager still chooses it. Consistency. This is something we've not seen since Tuchel. A manager used since Tuchel. This has been 2 years. It would be one game, it would be one team, but then the next game it would be 4 changes in that one team, and then it would be 3 changes in the next game after that team. It was never a consistent first team. They've never been a manager stuck to one lineup. I like the fact Maresca sticks to one lineup. Maybe might switch one player in every 2 or 3 games, depending on if it's an injury or bad form. That I can understand, 1 or 2. But not 4 or 5 each game like the previous managers. And also, he lets a run of games go. He lets this team keep playing games. How long has this team been our first team now? You know, it's been our first team for the last few Premier League games. It's consistency. That's the way we're going to get the best out of most players. Anyway, enough blabbering on. Robert Sanchez. We have to go with him. We have to go with him. Marc Cucurella, I'd be getting him inverting in as a left centre-back, obviously. And Gusto inverting into the midfield. But Marc Cucurella, he's been brilliant. Let him keep playing. Again, he was resting on Thursday, so again, he's going to be playing. Levi Colwill, Wesley Fofana. This is our 2 best centre-backs. Now, I've seen a lot of people give a bit of criticism to Fofana last time. I thought Fofana was actually good in our last Premier League game. I don't think he was over the top amazing, but I thought he did his job brilliantly. Same with Colwill. Colwill was somebody... I forgot. It was after game week 3 that I was a bit shaky on. Or it might have been game week 2. It might have been very early on, but it was also from last season. It was my worries from last season that I was a bit shaky on. I was a bit like, maybe this guy might be a little bit overrated. But he's coming into his own now, and he's been one of our best, well, he's been our second or first best centre-back. But keep them 2 playing. Let them build the consistency. Consistency, that's the main word of today. Gusto, obviously, like I said, inverting into midfield. He's the one I feel like is going to be caught lacking a little bit too much in tomorrow's game, especially on counter-attacks. So I'm just hoping he can recover just as good as he does going forward, if you know what I'm trying to say. So Gusto's got to be switched on tomorrow. He's got to be ready for it. It'd be his first proper match since coming back from fitness, I think. So yeah, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo is our best current midfield. They're both working brilliantly now in a double pivot. It's surprising when you actually get a manager who knows what he's doing, who's put a system in place. You actually see these 2 shining. I called it last season. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Let these 2 keep getting consistent minutes unless one of them drops a stinker or something like that. I've got faith in the 2 of them. Jadon Sancho off the left, he's going to be quite vital tomorrow. Because I feel like with a low block, which we know Forest are going to put in, I'll be very shocked if they don't. We're going to need a player who can add that ability to dribble past, two players, or a player and make a risky pass, or nutmeg a player and put a pass through, or something like that. We need somebody with a bit of tech and a bit of fearlessness, do you know what I'm trying to say, to take it past the player and make a risk. Jadon Sancho is one of those players who will do that, I feel like. And we've been lacking that in the last few years, especially when Hazard left, in unlocking defences when we're playing against a low block. That's why you see that we struggle against those type of teams. Jadon Sancho is that type of player to use that ability, and I hope he utilises it quite well tomorrow. He's going to be quite main tomorrow, I feel like. Same with Palmer. Palmer is another player who can unlock a low block. Whether it's a through ball, whether it's a risk-taking pass, whether it's dribbling past a player or taking a shot outside the box. One thing I like about Palmer as well is he's willing to take a shot outside the box when you don't think he will. That's one thing that many Chelsea players haven't been doing for the last couple of years that I always moan about. Not taking shots outside the box. Palmer does it all the time. Let's hope he keeps on doing it. Madueke is the player that I can understand people maybe having a bit of a problem with. In this game, I feel like tomorrow, it's mandatory Madueke does good. I feel like Neto is going to get minutes off the bench, which he 100% deserves after his Conference League game that he played and he did really, really well in. Tomorrow, if Madueke drops another stinker, that will be 3 stinkers on the bounce that he's dropped in the Premier League. In my opinion, that means the next game, which is against Liverpool, I'm pretty sure, in the league, after the international break, Neto comes straight in my opinion. Because, especially when Madueke has been dropping stinkers and Neto's been doing well. Unless Neto comes off the bench and drops even more of a stinker. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But, Madueke's got to have a good game tomorrow. Otherwise, in my opinion, Neto's in the team, in my opinion. So, I'm hoping for a good game off Madueke. He is another player to unlock a defence, dribble past a player out wide on the right and get a cross in or cut in and have a shot. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I'm expecting a lot of that from him tomorrow. He's quite vital on counter-attacks, even though I don't think we're going to get many counter-attacks tomorrow, maybe unless it's off a corner from them. But, I'm hoping he has a good game tomorrow because I really like Noni. And Jackson up top, obviously. I could kind of understand the argument for Nkunku. I could kind of understand, but at the same time, he got a hat-trick against... No, he got a goal. Sorry, not a hat-trick. That was against Barrow. He got a goal against a team he should be getting goals against. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I can understand the argument of him playing over Jackson, but I'm going to give Jackson that leeway because even though he didn't score in his last game, I feel like he still did decent. He was just lacking that goal. Do you know what I'm trying to say? My only problem with Jackson at times is I feel like when he's through on goal, he's not got that gut instinct just to shoot and score. Knows where the net is straight away like a Drogba did or like an Osimhen does. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I feel like sometimes he thinks too much in front of goal. Just take the shot. Instinct. You know what I'm trying to say? So... yeah, that's the team lineup I'll go with for tomorrow. Let me in the comments down below what you would go with. So, a score prediction for tomorrow. Chelsea versus Nottingham Forest. Look, we've got to win tomorrow, in my opinion. Because look, we're not in a title race. Look, I love the feedback you all gave me back on that title race video that I did. I love the feedback. If you disagreed, you all gave me a reasonable disagreement. You didn't come at me and say, oh, you were wrong or anything like that. Even though I completely agree. I don't think we're in a title race or anything. But... look, if we win our next few games, you can say that we're in a title race, obviously. But if we want to be considered in a title race, we need to win this game because, an Arsenal won their game today, City won their game today, Liverpool are still top of the league because they won their game today. If we want to still be in that, conversation in a sense, in another 3 or 4 games' time, we need to win this game especially. So, do I think we're going to win the game? Yes. I feel like it's going to be Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 1. I'm not worried about us going forward. But it's going to be our first time seeing us against a proper low block tomorrow. Tomorrow is our first game this season. We're going to see us against a proper low block. So it's a good thing to watch in a sense to see where we are at. Because we haven't faced a proper low block this season yet. And in numerous match seasons, we've struggled. So it's Enzo Maresca's, I was going to say Fernandez then, Enzo Maresca's first time. I would like to see it, and I hope we pull through. I feel like we are. I think it's going to be Chelsea 2, Nottingham Forest 1. Like I said, going forward, it doesn't worry me. It's just defensively, being caught out on counter-attacks. Can we deal with that? I feel like we're going to have enough to deal with it. So I'm going to go with 2-1. But yeah, let me in the comments down below what your score predictions are. Be here an hour after the game tomorrow because a video of the match review of the game will be uploaded an hour after the game. So be ready with that, with the bell notification on. Like, subscribe, everybody. Take care all. And I'll see you tomorrow. Up the Chelsea. Let's get this win, Chelsea. Come on. And as I spit everywhere, have a good rest of your day and night. Peace.